Hey y'all, this is Crazy Keon and welcome back to Something to Talk About, where we break down the news, politics, and how it really affects your everyday life. Now, I hope you're sitting down for this one because as you probably listened to the last episode on Wednesday, you had to have known that this was coming. Maryland had a $2 billion plus budget surplus, and somehow, now we're in a deficit. Now, the question everybody is asking, how do you lose billions that fast? Well, Governor Moore got up there all smiles, promising fiscal responsibility, accountability, and transparency. All those nice political words, but when the truth hit, that surplus didn't just fade away, it got blown away. And I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody's not telling the truth about what really happened. Let's rewind for a second. Back in 2023, the state was celebrating this big surplus. Maryland was saying, we're in the black. We've got more money than we expected. The governor said it showed strong leadership and smart budgeting. The headlines said the same thing. But if you watched closely, that money was never free. It came from a temporary federal COVID funds, higher than usual tax collections, and some one-time windfalls. Now, so instead of using it carefully, maybe paying off debt or setting up some type of long-term savings, Maryland's government spent it like it was permanent income. Okay, now that's the truth about how it got there and where we are now. Raises for state workers, new programs, expanding agencies, great ideas. Here's the problem. They were not sustainable. And when Governor Hogan left office, that was not the intent of this money. Now, it's like this, y'all. If you get a bonus at work, you don't go lease a new car and sign up for a mortgage the same week. You might enjoy it, sure, but you don't build your lifestyle around a one-time check. Maryland's government, under Governor Moore, did exactly that. And now, a year later, when the federal money's gone and the revenues dipped, we are broke again in the state of Maryland. And the crazy part is they're acting like it's a surprise. Like, can you count, add, and then subtract? Like, I don't get it. So here's where the lie part comes in. Governor Moore went on record saying, and I quote, "Maryland finances are sound. We are building responsibly." However, behind closed doors, the numbers were already showing red. Agencies were overspending, costs were rising, and the structural deficit was widening. Instead of telling the public, hey, this surplus ain't gonna last, the administration under Governor Moore acted like everything was fine, right up until it wasn't. And that right there is not leadership, that is BS PR. Now, let's talk specifics. A big chunk of that surplus went into education spending, specifically the blueprint for Maryland's future. Now look, investing in schools is important, no question. But this thing is ballooning. Billions in new cost. No stable revenue stream equals disaster. Then you've got transportation. Maryland promised billions in infrastructure, but now the state's cutting back bus routes and delaying road repairs because the funds ran dry. Let's take it a little deeper. Healthcare programs expanded. Agencies added stuff, all while tax collections started slowing. That's not a surprise. That's math. Now, here's the human part of this story, okay? When the state runs out of money, everybody feels it. That means counties might lose school funding. Teachers face freezes. Local projects stall. And regular Marylanders, the folks just trying to get by, will probably see new taxes, which we saw, higher fees. Anybody been to the DMV? To make up for the gap. So when Governor says we have to make tough choices, remember, come election time, those tough choices always seem to hit working families first. And the wild part, nobody, and I mean nobody, is being held accountable for this atrocity. There have been no audits. There have been no resignations. There has been no transparency report breaking down anything about where this money went. We just get a press release and a promise to do better next time. No, Maryland deserves better than that. If we blew through billions, somebody somewhere in that state house needs to show receipts. See, you can't keep talking about shared sacrifice while state leaders mismanage your money. You can't ask people to tighten their belts when government spending got looser than ever. This isn't about Democrat or Republican. Let's be clear. This is about responsibility. If you promise the people that the budget is balanced and then it collapses a year later, that ain't bad luck. You know what that is? Bad leadership. So yeah, the surplus is gone. But the lesson here is bigger than money. When you lie to people about the numbers, you lose trust. And when trust breaks, it doesn't matter how many new programs you announce. Folks stop believing you can deliver. Maryland didn't just blow a surplus, they blew credibility. And that's something every voter, every taxpayer, every working family in this state should pay attention to. So yeah, that's something to talk about. Maryland blew the surplus, and Governor Moore's not being real about it. But the truth always comes out. I'm Keon, and this has been something to talk about. Catch y'all next time. And until then, keep asking questions, because we gonna come up with some answers.